Hello everybody, my name is Magdalena and you're watching From Words to Worlds. Today's video is for everybody who is learning a foreign language, maybe English, maybe another foreign language, and who has a problem with creating a routine of learning a language a little bit every day. It may seem very easy, but in reality it's not easy at all. It's a challenge to get into the habit of repeating vocabulary every day, of thinking in a foreign language, of speaking to yourself. We are creatures of habit. We like our routines. And although human brain evolved to help us survive in this world, it's not always so helpful when it comes to changing routines, creating new habits. That's one of the reasons why we say in English that, oh, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. We also say in English that old habits die hard. Old habits die hard. Or we say that a leopard cannot change its spots. A leopard cannot change its spots. All these expressions refer to one simple fact. Our brain isn't the best tool when it comes to helping us shape new routines. So we may ask, why is that? Why is the brain so stubborn? Every time we try to introduce a new habit, the brain reacts with resistance. The brain starts to worry. The brain is afraid. And the brain will try to stop us. So why? This topic is really interesting for me as I am a psychologist and a language teacher. But please take everything I say here as my personal opinion, even though it comes from the psychological background. To put it in a nutshell, our brain, on its very basic level, evolved to help us survive. Our brain evolved to help us survive. It was the brain's job to keep us alive long enough to grow up and have children. So the brain's job was to keep us well fed, to keep us warm, to keep us safe, long enough to procreate and give birth to babies so that the species may carry on. So the brain is wired for survival. The brain likes routines. The brain clings to what it knows. Because up to this point, this particular routine kept us alive. It helped us survive. We are here now. We are here today. Probably we have some food in the fridge. Probably we have roof over our heads. And probably we are more or less safe, right? So the brain likes this routine which we have today because this routine is clearly keeping us alive and this routine is safe. But brain isn't very keen on changing things because every change can potentially mean danger. Okay, that's why the brain, on its very basic level, likes to play it safe. It will do what it can to keep you in your comfort zone because this is clearly the zone and these are the habits which are working. They are keeping you alive. So every time you try to change something, your brain is worried. Of course, the brain is well more complicated than that. Of course, we all know that. Of course, there are different levels of brain functioning. But today, we are talking only about this basic level of brain functioning that is instinctive and that is wired for survival. So, why isn't brain helpful? We may think, okay, but I'm learning a new language, so in the future, That would mean more money, better job, better social interactions, traveling, so pleasure. So it's very possible it would lead to even bigger feeling of safety, bigger money, bigger comfort, bigger adventures and pleasures. So why would brain oppose that? Because brain has a hard time seeing long-term payoff. Brain doesn't like delayed gratification. The brain doesn't see that, okay, maybe in 2 years, this work I am putting in today, it will pay off. The brain doesn't understand that. The brain is all about here and now and today, and it wants peace and safety or instant gratification. There are numerous, uncountable, I think, nowadays, videos and techniques which are used on us every day to keep us online, to keep us on TikTok, to keep us on other social media, because these techniques, these videos, they offer a moment of instant gratification. They offer an emotion, or they offer some knowledge in 5 seconds. So they offer a moment of joy right here and now. The brain doesn't understand that if learning a language today is hard, it may help me feel better in the future, because the brain isn't really a tool of learning the truth. The brain, on its most basic level, isn't a tool for growth and development. It's a tool for survival. And for example, devoting 10 minutes every day for repeating vocabulary, it means burning extra calories. What if we need them in the future? Those extra calories we have just burned because we spent 10 minutes on learning a language. We could keep them in our bodies, and maybe if the danger comes, we could use these calories. So the brain doesn't like burning extra calories, of course. The brain wants us to be safe and to be well fed and to have roof over our heads. And if personal development isn't crucial to achieve these goals, the brain will not help us very much. That's one of the reasons. Of course, there are also other reasons why it is so hard to build new habits, why we are so wired to follow our routines. But this is one of the reasons we are discussing today. So what we can do is we can help the brain a little and connect this new routine we want to build. For example, repeating vocabulary every day, or speaking to ourselves out loud in a foreign language every day, or thinking only in a foreign language every day. So we take this new idea for a habit that brain doesn't like, and we connect it to the habit that we already have that brain loves. In my case, that would be drinking coffee. So I already have a habit. I drink coffee every day and I get instant gratification from that. I get a lot of pleasure from drinking coffee. So now what I do is that I make a deal with myself that every day when I drink coffee, well, once a day when I drink coffee, in this time, I will repeat English vocabulary or French vocabulary, or in my case, Norwegian vocabulary, because I'm currently learning Norwegian. So this is what I will do. I will be sitting comfortably, I will be drinking coffee, and at the same time, I will be repeating vocabulary. So I will never forget about that, because I drink coffee every day. I will not forget about coffee. And I made a deal with myself that I will use this time for learning a foreign language. So this habit that already exists and is fun for me, it helps me build a new one, kind of on top of it. Okay? This may help us because, well, first thing, we are not really introducing a new routine. So the brain isn't so worried that we are changing something. And the second thing is that we should choose a habit that is pleasant. We should choose something that we like doing And then brain will connect learning this foreign vocabulary with instant gratification, because it will connect the facts that, okay, we are drinking coffee and we are learning vocabulary, which means learning a foreign language gives us a pleasure similar to drinking coffee. And I know that we are very well aware that these are two separate actions. But trust me, on the basic level, our brain will connect these two. It will connect these two. And this idea may help us build a new habit, and it will help us learn faster. It will help us save money because we will speed up our progress. So that means we will have to pay for fewer lessons, and that means we will learn faster. We can also try visualizing the final result, but this visualization technique is effective, but isn't that easy, because we would really need to feel ourselves in that moment. It's not so much about seeing a picture, it's more about feeling the satisfaction, the joy of speaking fluently in this new language, because the brain also has a problem with seeing the difference between reality that is outside and the reality we are building in our heads. So when we are building a picture of us being so happy and satisfied because we have learned a new language, the brain will take it in a way as a reality at this very second. So if we do that while we are learning vocabulary, the brain may also connect it with this feeling of satisfaction. But I do understand it is challenging for us in today's world, because we don't have that much time for visualization, because that would mean spending 10 more minutes. So that means that we will have to devote not 10 and 20 minutes. That sounds like a lot. So just to sum it up, the brain will always choose short-term comfort over long-term progress. The brain will always choose short-term comfort. So it's our job to remember that a long-term progress is much more desirable. And the second thing, the brain will err on the side of caution. The brain will play it safe, because it's its job to keep us safe, not to help us learn a language. So the brain will not trust ideas for new habits, because that's breaking a routine. And a routine has been working so far, right? We are alive. So if you are a person who can say, oh, I'm set in my ways, my brain definitely runs on habit loops. And you can't teach old dog new tricks. Try this, just for fun. Why don't you try it out? Take a habit that you already have and that you enjoy, and use it for short language practice every day. There are, of course, a lot of methods on how to learn a language, but today let's just discuss one. It's very beneficial to devote a few minutes daily for thinking in a foreign language. And the thoughts, they don't need to be smart. You can just sit down and think, I have nothing to think about. This idea is so dull. It's absurd. It's crazy. It's stupid. Oh, there's a window in my kitchen. What's outside the window? Oh, there are some clouds in the skies. Okay. It's cloudy today. Oh, I think it's going to rain. You can think about anything at all. The thoughts aren't really the goal. It doesn't matter that much what you think. It matters that your brain in these 2 minutes will not be thinking in your first language, in your mother tongue. So we are trying to teach the brain not to translate from language to language, just to think directly in the foreign language you are learning. This new habit you are trying to build on top of an old habit? It can be many things. You may use this time to repeat some vocabulary. You may use this time to practice some grammar, but I recommend choosing something that doesn't require a pen and paper, just speaking or thinking. For example, take a few new words and say out loud sentences with these new words. Sentences can be very simple. So why don't you try it out? Make a deal with yourself. Say, okay, starting tomorrow, every day when I, for example, drink coffee, I also learn a foreign language for 5 minutes, 10 minutes max. But 5-7 minutes, it's enough. Even 2 minutes are enough. But let's say 5-7 minutes, okay? And after a month, after 2 or 3 weeks even, you will see if this action becomes a habit by itself. Give it a few weeks because the brain needs repetition. The brain likes repetition because repetition again brings the feeling of safety. So give yourself a few weeks, repeat the action every day, and you will see that brain doesn't like new habits very much. But it's not that our brain is so strict that it will never let us learn any new routine. No. The brain is way more complicated than that, right? We have the part of the brain that actually will help us grow, and we have what is one of the most wonderful qualities of our brain, the plasticity, the flexibility of our brain. Our brain will adjust to the situation. It will accept the new routine. Once it will learn that it's safe, that we will still be well fed, we will still have food, we will still have roof over our heads, and we will just have a bit more fun with a foreign language. And we will grow. And we will learn. And the brain will be satisfied. Okay, so if you would like to learn more about our brain and about how we can help our brain learn a foreign language, if you would like to learn more techniques that can be useful in building routines of learning every day and actually can speed up your learning and can help you save money, please let me know in a comment so that I will have this information that, okay, yes, this is the topic that you are interested in. Okay, good luck with your learning. Why don't you just start today and try to add a little foreign language speaking or thinking to some pleasant routine that you have. And if you enjoyed this video, you can follow our webpage on Facebook. If you want, you can like the video, just let me know. Although I'm very shy and it's hard for me to ask for likes. But anyway, I hope to see you again. Happy learning!